Okay, testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay, so I'm just testing out this the live feed here, so I'm just messing about with a few things. Finally got the comment section off on the right hand side. So hopefully, I think this should be working now. So we're looking at David Terra. Yeah, I think this is all good. I think we can switch between drivers still. Daniel Morris, so we'll look at Daniel Morris now for a little bit. We can go to his cockpit cam. We have the race feed in the bottom right hand side there, so we can see any incidents that go on, anyone that pits, anyone that crashes, anyone that goes off the tracks. That race feed in the bottom right hand side there, that'll give you a rundown of exactly what's going on track. If we miss anything, that will bring it up there on the right hand side. Split times, what does the split times do? Not much. Standings, overview, speedo, so we can see throttle application, brake application, the map of the circuit, timings. Fantastic. Okay, so let's have a look at this then. I think they're all doing their qualifying lap now. David Terra on first, 46.0. And we have Daniel Morris with a 46.7. I think they can get another lap in. Yeah, they've gone past the line with 20 seconds to go, 25 seconds to go, roughly, so they've got time for another lap. Let's have a look at Stelvio Canto here. This is David Terra. Let's go to his timings, see how he's getting on. Not sure that it shows you the splits here. No, I don't believe it does. It's a shame. It'd be good to show you split timings in these. So all we can assume is, is just by looking at his driving style how he's getting on. So he's 3/10 basically from second place, 6/10 from Morris. So we have two human drivers, let's say, in this race, and we have the rest are all AI. Just to let you know, there's just a 2-player practice lobby with the AI there. The AI is set to a maximum of 120, so that's as high as the AI can go. And I believe the aggression's on at around 50% there. So just follow Stelio through to the last corner, see what lap time he can put in here. I believe a very, very fast lap time here is a high 44 to a low 45 flat. So we'll see what David can put in. I'm sure he can put in a 45 here if he's not messed his lap up. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got a 45 flat straight away from Stelio, so that's a very fast time. And yep, Daniel Morris there, also known as Pantera, nearly 4/10 back. So the qualifying session is now over, so we'll go straight out to the race. Once they've all readied up and loaded the setups up, then we'll get this race underway. Again, just to remind you, this is just a practice feed. This isn't an official race. It's just a practice feed for myself. Preparing for, we have a Formula 3 championship, which is being hosted by Danny Henney, which is one of the Project 4 admins. That starts on the 27th of November. That will, I think that's a 2-race event. I think it's the same format as the Clios, but that is a 2-race evening. So I'll have I think it's about a 20-minute race. I've got to look up on the rules properly, but it's about a 20-minute race for the first one, and then a 25-minute race for the second race. So that round 1 will be on the 27th. So I'll be commentating on that one and live streaming for that as well. So here we go. It's a 7-lap race. David Terra in first. Daniel Morris is in second place. We'll see how this goes. I wonder if I can turn this whole section off here. No, I can't. This section has to stay on. Let's have a look. No, we'll keep the overview on up there. So here we go. Everyone's on the grid, ready to start the race. We'll start. David Terra on board. Let's see how. We'll look at the lights. Go to green. Bit of a slow getaway from David Terra there. I think Morris might just jump him straight off the bat here, and he does. Daniel Morris is straight past into first place. I think David and Daniel will just pull away from these AI cars here, and we'll just see these two have an epic battle all the way to the end. So David's already got a better drive out of turn 1. And already miles ahead of the AI. David with a late break into here, as always. Neat little lock up there from Morris, running very wide indeed. But that won't matter too much. Not for this practice race anyway. So again, as I say, these guys, they're just practicing for the Project 4 championship. The Clio Championship. Round 1 has just been and gone. We've had round 1 that was at the Algarve circuit. Round 2 we're holding at Road America. That will be on the 4th of December. So the Clio Cup Championship will be on the 4th of December. We're fully booked out for that. With 16 cars on the grid for that. So that's going to be a good round, good race. And the Red Bull Ring seems to be quite a popular circuit with most of these. Most drivers online, I think, and I think it may host in the Clio Cup Championship as well later on in the year. We close out the Clio Cup Championship, I believe it's on the 8th of January, I think, is the last race of the Clios. So plenty of time yet to get these tracks underway. But as I said, these two at the front here, they are the only human drivers. The rest are all AI. These guys are just testing today, and I'm just testing out the live feed just to make sure we're all set for the Formula 3 Championship, which starts on the 27th of November. I will be live streaming that, commentating on that one, and that should be interesting because again, that's a fully locked out grid for the Formula 3s. So there'll be 16 drivers on the grid, and I believe that's starting at Fuji Raceway, which would be a great start to the championship there. So these two just looks like they're following each other along at the moment. These are not teammates. These two are on different teams in the championship. So let's go on board with Daniel Morris here, which is Pantera. Let's see what he does. I think he'll probably just follow him nicely. David's locking up horribly into the, but it doesn't really affect him too much. David's very good on the brakes, as I keep mentioning. David's a very good driver on the brakes here, and he's extremely fast in these. And I still tip him to be the champion of these cars. We always have some horrible lift-off oversteer with these Clios as well. As you can see, going to the corners, you have a lot of a lift-off oversteer, but that can be reduced significantly with some setup tweaks as well. A lot to do with the LCD and the bias coast ratio. You lower the rear bias coast ratio, and it does tend to stop the rear coming out a bit, but you'll always get that is some serious oversteer though. It's good to see Daniel Morris on board here with Daniel Morris. It's good to see him back actually, because we didn't see a lot of him in Project Cars 1, so nice to see Daniel Morris back for sure. And not lost any pace. It's a very tricky move to pull off here. If you try and dive down the inside here, you're more likely going to end up hitting each other and going wide. It's a very difficult, it may look easy, but it's a very difficult, it's such a fast corner. It's very hard to overtake. This is probably your best overtaking opportunity coming up the hill into the tight right hand hairpin. And then the corner after this one as well, going down into the hairpin on the right hand side. I say hairpin, it's more of a 45-degree corner, isn't it? It's not really a hairpin. And too much curb, see, that's what happens. It flings you out to the right. Now, if that happens in the Clio Cup Championship, you will get a warning. You only get one warning. The second one, if you do that the second time, you end up getting yourself a points penalty. And the third time, you'll end up getting yourself a black flag. So you do have to be careful of that. We had a lot of respect from the other guys who went wide at the Algarve track. Obviously, turn 1 you can go wide. You can go extremely wide on Algarve track. People were going slightly wide sometimes, but they were very respectful in our championships, and they were lifting off, showing that they'd lifted off and let the other car behind catch up 2 or 3 tenths. So as long as you lift off, then there'll be no repercussions of any penalties or even a warning. So it's a good drive out there by Morris, you see. So he's going to gain on David, I think, for this lap. But David's still got the pickings on him. David's good at starting these races as well. David's quite quick through here. He's got a bit too wide though. Let's go back on the track side. There we go. How far away? Yeah, 4 seconds away from third place. Starting lap 4. I'm not sure any moves are going to be made here. David's quite quick through here. He's quite quick on this circuit anyway. I think this is one of David's favourite tracks, and possibly car combinations as well. David being the guy who's in first place in the blue car there. He's very good in tin tops, and I think he's going to try and make his mark with Project 4 online racing. He's gonna make sure everyone knows he's the man to beat, I think, this year. And Project Cars 2, it's a good foundation for him because there's more car selections, more old school cars. David's a very old school kind of guy, let's say. I mean, his racing team is called Team Leather Gloves, for crying out loud. I mean, you can't get more old school than that. So he's yeah, he's good in these sorts of cars. I'm not saying these cars are old school, it's just that everyone else likes a lot of downforce, a lot of new age, you know, single seater, and I'm the same. I don't particularly like all the downforce. I like a car you have to work for to get the wins, and David's very much the same, so he'll always be very quick in these tin top cars and front wheel drive cars. So yeah, still it's just stabilised. It's at 4 tenths. It's 4 tenths the whole way around. So that Morris has just caught up with him quite a bit there. A couple of tenths Morris just pulled him in there, so he might have a bit of a slipstream down here, but again he needs to stay close to him into the first corner and try and slingshot him out of the first corner into turn 2, and that's where he'll get the move done, going up the hill into the hairpin. But he just loses touch with him coming out the first corner here. And Morris using way too much curb, again too much curb. That's where Daniel's losing his time. And he's gone wide there and he's gained time, so that's not a good look. Let's see if Morris makes a move on Terai here. David's having a bit of a defensive play. He's trying to go on the outside. That's not going to work, is it? Let's be honest. That's not going to work. Now Morris has gone wide. He's going to come back on the track and probably be ahead of him. That's got to be about 6 black flags for Daniel Morris now, I think. Oh well, as I said, this is just a test. This is just these boys are just testing for races, and a 44.6, even a 44.5 for Daniel Morris. Very quick indeed. So yeah, that's a quick time. So let's have a look at these times here. The best lap of a 44.5. Yeah, it's that is very quick. But also we know that Project 4 Online Racing, we're going head-to-head with NGR, which is the next generation racing boys online, and we're doing a head-to-head, so we'll have 8 Project 4 boys against 8 NGR boys, and I believe we're going to be running the race 1 will be, I think, don't quote me, but it may still change, but we're still in very early planning stages. But I think we're going to start off with the Ginetta Junior race car, then we're going to go to the Clio Cup cars, which is these ones you're seeing on screen now, and then we're going to go to the touring cars, and I believe it's going to be a 3-race shootout with points, and that will also be live streamed. That'll be on YouTube. They'll have commentary and so forth, so that'll be quite exciting. That's a big milestone for Project 4 actually, because we started off with just a few friends online, you know, just racing around with each other, having a laugh. But it's just started to get a little bit more serious, and now NGR wanted, you know, we dipped our rod into the NGR world, and they accepted our invite to have a pop at them. So if we can beat those boys, then that will really show how much pace our boys have got here at Project 4 Online Racing. And to be honest with you, I think we have some of the fastest drivers in the world who are racing for Project 4 Online Racing. I really do. You know, in Project Cars 1, we were lighting up the leaderboards almost in every category. So yeah, so it's good to see, and it's good. We always have some good close racing. As you can see now, Morris has taken the lead off David, but David won't take kindly to that. David will have a pop at him soon. It won't take long. But 6 laps into it, and Morris has taken the lead, 8 seconds away from 3rd place. Who, again, I say is it's AI. There's no human racing apart from these 2 up front. So let's go on board with David for a couple of laps. Well, a lap, what's left of it. Still a bit of a glitch in this racing game where there's no steering wheel. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because on my settings, I think on my personal settings I have the wheel switched off, so maybe that is why the steering wheel switched off. So I will make... Oh, what's happened here? Oh, David has obviously thought that was the last lap. Or something. Something's happened. I think he thought that was the last lap. And now he's going to get mugged by the AIs. Oh dear. Oh dear, what happened there? I think David thought it was the last lap. Let's just be glad that this is just a practice event. And it's not an official race. Oh dear. So, unless David corrects me, I think that was probably just an embarrassing moment, not realising it wasn't the last lap. Anyway, so yeah, what was I talking about? I can't remember now, due to the spin. But oh yeah, I think my steering wheel switched off in the settings, so that's probably why the steering wheel switched off on the in-car view. So I'll switch that back on for live broadcasting. Again, I'll say again, we have live broadcasting and commentary for Project 4 Online Racing's Formula 3 Championship. That will start at around 8 PM. 27th Monday, and there's 16 drivers in that, a full grid, and we'll see how that plays out. It's Formula 3, and this is classed as Formula C, so if you look around the menus for a Formula 3 car, there isn't one. It's just Formula C, so that'll be a good race. And then after that, I think a week after that, we've got the Clio Cup. Round 3 and 4 will be held at Road America, so that'll be and that's really close between everyone at the moment. The top 10 are like separated by about 7/10. It's ridiculous. So yeah, good stuff. I think Morris has won that now. Yeah, here he is. So practice run there, Morris wins that race. All about the stats, Morris. And David Terra comes back from his almighty spin. Good. So, anyway, that was a test feed, a test session to see if everything works out okay, and obviously I can broadcast, talk, and show you the live streaming, which is good news for me because you don't need two people. And I get a trophy. How lovely. And so yeah, interesting stuff. So we'll see you on the 27th of this month, and I'll bring you some official Formula 3 racing with commentary, proper commentary. This wasn't commentary, this was just a little chat, with you guys, and we'll go from there. How do we stop this then?